Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I don't know when you're listening to this. Um, but for me, it's the morning of November 14th. And I got to tell you, I'm a little cranky being in this hooded sweatshirt. We're 5 episodes in. And if you remember back to the first episode, I was in a t shirt and shorts and a hat. And now we're getting ready for colder weather. If you're listening and not watching, I'm in a hoodie. And as much as I love them, I just hated putting the sweater and the hoodies on this week. But here we are, and that happens. So it's episode 5 of the Communicators, and today's episode is all about burnout. We're getting close to the end of the year, and that's when a lot of people start to take stock of things and prepare for 2026. And I have to tell you, when I hear multiple podcasts and read multiple articles from Brene Brown talking about how she thinks we're not okay. She literally said that. We're not okay as it applies to everything that's been going on. I wanted to kind of follow suit, not saying I'm Brene Brown, but in the spirit of that, just share some tips on that I've come to use and learn are pretty helpful in fighting burnout. They're nothing too deep. I am not trained in that area. My only exposure and experience is in finding out the hard way and doing it myself. So hopefully you'll find value in some of those tips that I share later. Um, as always, we'll start with 3 things. We're 5 episodes in here, and that seems to be a pretty good format to follow because it lets me get some of my ramblings out of the way in an organized fashion. But first, I wanted to tell you that it's getting close to the holidays, as we all know, and we're starting to see, those favorite holiday movies pop up. Christmas Vacation, I think, is like in the top 5 on HBO Max. For me, it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I watch it every year with my kids, my family. I've watched it for a long time. I know every line and annoy the absolute shit out of my wife when I'm quoting the lines. One of my favorite lines is John Candy saying, I like me. My wife likes me. And I use that when she's really annoyed with me. It doesn't work, but it is a great line. And it's also the great title of the John Candy documentary that just came out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time telling you everything that's in it, but you have to watch it. If you like John Candy, if you just want a uplifting hour and a half, 2 hours where there's people talking about how sincere and genuine somebody actually is. And it's one of those things where you want him to be that way. We all love him in the movies that we see him in. We all have our favorites. But hearing that he actually was that way in real life is pretty incredible. So definitely worth a watch if you're looking for something just kind of family friendly and uplifting and fun to watch. It's a great walk down memory lane. And then the bonus is when it's over, you can watch your favorite John Candy movie because there's no way you're going to get through it and not want to watch a John Candy movie when it's over. So that's the first thing. The second thing, on the complete opposite end of the feel good spectrum, I'm pretty pissed off about the Guardians, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz. I could go on and on about this. I am a baseball purist. What they did is absolutely despicable. It's disgusting. There's no excuse for it. And I just had to get that out because I don't understand this math where you're trading millions for $1,000 prop bets. And I was actually at the game in Seattle on Father's Day, June 15th, where Luis Ortiz made his first rigged pitching prop. And you can ask my family and my friends. I said that pitch was a little suspicious. That's how obvious it was. If someone like me sitting in the stands can pick that out. So just absolutely disgusting behavior and nothing to say outside of just, screw you guys. The third thing, it's the IKEA anniversary. We're 29 years old this month, November 1st, technically. And I would love to go on and tell you all about it. But there's an amazing blog written by our creative director and my good friend, Mike Lawrence, who makes anything sound incredible. But in this blog, he's talking about 29 years is commemorated with furniture, which how are we supposed to do something with furniture? But he somehow manages to turn this blog commemorating our anniversary, which we're going to use a lot more because he did such a great job connecting it to our anniversary. and it's so entertaining. Dare I say, inspiring. You have to read it. I'll make sure you get the link. It's also on our website, pretty easy to find. So, all those are the three things. From there, we get into today's episode's brought to you by the number or the letter. Today, the number or numbers is 50 and 50. And there was a research study done by SHRM, the Society of Human Resources Managers, around burnout recently. And they discovered that 50% of managers are burned out. So our number is 50 and 50. That's the first 50. The second 50 is of those people, half felt that they were going home feeling completely drained. And that's not uncommon probably to you listening. You're like, yeah, join the club. And I'm willing to bet it's more than just half of those people. I think there's probably a lot higher. But it happens today. There's so many things pulling us in so many different directions. And this podcast, look, this podcast was started because there's a group of people that really believe that communications is critical to where we're going in the world. The more further we get, the more technologically advanced we become, the worse our communications get. So we're the group that's going to try to hold on that. And we're saving the world one word at a time. We're the glue that are holding all of our friend circles together and where we work together. But the thing is, we get burnout too, maybe a little bit more because we feel, when other people are feeling burned out, and we want to do what we can to help them. And, the thing is, at the end of the day, our bucket is empty. Our cup's empty. We're drained. So what are some of the things that we can do to help ourselves? Because as we have talked about a lot, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. So I'm going to run through 4. I have a bonus, so technically we'll have 5. The first one, really fun one. And if you're going to do any of these, this is probably the easiest to do. Trashy TV, mind-numbing something, just putting something on for the sake of putting something on. There's people that talk about sometimes getting in their car and driving with no music, no sound, no nothing. That sounds terrible to me. However, I get in the car. Sometimes I find myself doing this more often than not, and putting on classical music because it's just peaceful versus trying to find the right station or the podcast that I'm listening to and jumping back in. And it's just a nice way to zone out. No, I don't zone out while I'm driving. But at home, we like to keep our favorite sitcoms. For me, it used to be The Office on Netflix, and Peacock totally messed that up. So on Netflix, I have Seinfeld. If I'm feeling like I just need to tune out for a minute, I throw on Seinfeld and let that play in the background, or just kind of watch it and not have to think about anything. But that's an easy one to do, and I highly recommend it, whatever it may be. Second is talk to people outside of your actual industry. If you're not in marketing and communications, call me. Talk to me. I would love to hear what's going on in your world. And guess what? I have no problem telling you what's going on in mine. I will vent and talk to you about what's happening in our world of marketing and communications. But I'm very lucky on so many levels for my wife, as she will tell you. And one of the reasons is because she's not in this field. She started in this field, so she has an appreciation of it, but she's in education. So getting a chance to hear some of her frustrations, or maybe how she handles things, or is able to work through things in different audiences, is really beneficial for me to just listen to somebody else that's going through some similar challenges, but in a different world. My best friend is also in education. We compare notes a lot in that regard. And I never realized just how much value I took from somebody outside of my circle of industry in hearing how they were navigating things. And I always walk away with a tidbit or something that I can apply where I really wasn't even expecting it. I was just trying to listen or hear what's going on in their days. And it's become kind of now this point of comparison. So definitely worth tackling if you have people outside of your industry, or if you want to reach out to me. The third thing is do something just for the sake of doing it. I don't care if you're writing, cooking, dancing. I will not be dancing. Dance like nobody's watching. That's not my thing. Maybe it's your thing. But do something where it's just for you. I have a dumb ideas notebook. I don't share those ideas. I put a lot of things down that never see the light of day. I know some people that are like sitting on the greatest movie script no one will ever see because it's theirs, and they just go back and write on it. My oldest daughter has become really good at this, where she just shuts her door and draws and doesn't share them with anybody. They're just for her. And it's a great way to just kind of turn your brain off and let it focus its energy and muscles on something else because our brain is a muscle and we need to have that exercise going. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is probably the hardest. So we started with the easiest, we'll end with the hardest, is real boundaries. Um, Blocking time on your calendar for thinking, turning your phone off, putting it in another room, getting away from whatever it is that's causing you the distractions. The atomic habits that we talk a lot about. Whatever, pick one thing. It's one article, one book you want to read, one page of, and just do that to like have some boundaries of this is my time to read this book for these 3 minutes. Start there. The best thing you could do is just start. So if you have to set those boundaries, even on a micro level, just to have something to turn your brain's attention to something else, do it. And the bonus, meditation. Next summer will mark 5 years for me doing meditation. Everybody is always surprised because they're like, "You do meditation? How?" One, you don't seem as calm as you should for doing meditation. Or they're like, "You can sit still for that long?" And yes, I can. It's 10 minutes. I do it every morning and it's amazing. I use the Calm app. And again, back to the other point of just getting started. The only way to do it is to get started. You may not like it. Force yourself to do it for a week. And if you hate it, then move on to the next thing. But I'm telling you, the chance to actually just focus on your breathing. And I've learned to use the methods learned in that more this year than I have even in the last 3, because I feel myself starting to get further into the practice of it where I can recognize the situations that they're talking about. So meditation is a personal journey, but I would recommend at least trying it. So those are the 5. Hopefully you find some value in just one of them. And if you have some, share. I love the feedback. We're going to end with the red pen. The red pen. I'm taking the red pen to Disney Pixar. Toy Story 5. I'm just going to put the red pen through the 5. Just like I was going to put the red pen through the 4. We don't need any more. Yes, I'm going to watch it. Okay? Look, I'm going to watch it. I am. But I think we ended great on 3. Lotso, Ken, Barbie. It was fantastic. It was emotional. It was sad. I remember taking my kids that were like, didn't even have to pay for a ticket. They were that young. Now they're 16 and 20, and we're doing a 5th one. We're good. Do some original content. Go do something. Maybe come up with some news stories. But Toy Story 5, you're getting the red pen today. So that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. We'll probably do one more before the year's up. If you have feedback, if you have suggestions, we'd love to hear them. But otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day.